So the leader and I are really close. So even outside church, we were still close. So when she came to me and then she told me that, listen, Matthew, I don't like how you are behaving, and then I was expelled.
I must get a salary, whether they like it or not. Even if they want me to, I will not resign.
You should not mismanage your responsibility in the house of God.
Welcome to the Faith Talk Season 2 with Charity.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm actually joined by my beautiful people. I'm going to give them a chance to just introduce themselves.
Hey guys, my name is Soma and I'm Charity's big sister. So good to meet you guys.
Hi everyone, my name is Matthew and I'm Charity's little brother.
Yes!
Come on, technically speaking, I am.
Yes,
I am.
you
Yeah,
are.
I am, because Charity saw me, literally watched me growing up since I was what, 10?
What introduction is this
Okay,
one?
but anyway, it's fine. Yes. So,
Okay, so this video has been long overdue. I've been dragging these two people since beginning of this year. Today is the 31st of December 2023, and finally I thank the Lord. It took a lot.
We thank God for the opportunity. You know, we are big people and the
Yes.
responsibilities are a lot. So it has been a hectic year, and finally, before the end of the year,
we
few
decided to
hours
come through.
before the end of the year, at least we still made it in
still made
2023.
it,
Yeah.
You know, and I think technically speaking, there's time for everything. So I think the Lord.
Biblically speaking. Anyways, in today's video, they actually have no idea what this video is going to be about, because I want it to be natural, to be as natural as it can be. The only thing I'm going to actually give you, I'm going to give you two things to think about, and it will be the last thing that you answer. You are going to tell me one thing you like about me and one thing you hate about me. That will be the last thing that we're going to talk about. Okay? So just think about it. The rest,
Just one more.
yeah, one thing you
Because
hate about
at
me.
least I don't know now which one I'm
Just one, it's okay. One thing you hate about me and one thing you like about me. First thing that we are going to talk about, we are going to talk about church hats. I don't know whether you guys have heard of the concept of church hats. Like, I've been hurt by the church. I'm not going to church anymore because the praise and worship team member, or maybe the leader or the pastor, was rude to me, and things in that line.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes, that's what you call church hurts. So the first thing maybe I would like to find out is, have you guys experienced church hurts? Is it something that you've experienced? Have you been in a space where you feel like, I'm not going to church anymore, I'm done, the way the pastor spoke to me, or the way the praise and worship team leader dealt with my matter was not, a way for me to, that I liked, or anything like that?
All right, sure. I think this is quite as a believer, it's a very sensitive thing to talk about. It's not just people, because it's the expectation that people have on the church, right? That, it's supposed to be a safe place. It's a place where if I'm bleeding and hurting, it's where I go to, right? So the expectations that society has, or the image society has towards the church, is a little bit tricky. But from my personal experience, I wouldn't say I've been hurt from the church.
Okay, because wait, because just be honest, because
No, listen,
I was
listen.
your praise and worship team
Exactly,
leader. In the event that I
listen.
hate you, please be honest.
So I used to be part of the praise and worship team. And so back then I had so much things going on in my life that I couldn't handle, because
Couldn't balance.
I couldn't balance. With praise and worship, being part of the praise and worship team, it required discipline. It requires consistency, and you had to keep the routine going. So because of my imbalance, I'll come to practice and I will come to practice. And if I'm a practice, I'm not serious. And to be honest, I wasn't also taking that responsibility quite serious as well. So here's a trick now, here's a thing. So the leader and I are really close. So even outside church, we were still close. So when she came to me and then she told me that, listen, Matthew, I don't like how you are behaving, and then I was expelled. And then my identity, to be honest, being part of the person worship team in a way created like my identity. So when I got expelled, I felt like a part of me was ripped away. So number one, that shaped how I perceived her. That changed how I perceived everybody else in the team, because I felt like they were all talking about me. So So yeah, but
So you end up living in
yeah, so
assumptions.
I end up living in assumption. It made me
Like-
feel so uncomfortable because I couldn't even praise and I couldn't pray in like comfortably because I felt like, oh, now they're thinking about me.
I forgive you.
And even no, listen. Even what made it worse is that even the brethren, the people part of the church, also have like a different perspective because I remember there's a lady. She's still part of the ministry. She once asked me, "I don't see you on the altar anymore. What happened?" And I told her, "No, the Lord will do, please." The Lord did what needed to be done, but that really made me feel uncomfortable. So there was a point where I stopped coming to church. So my mom would ask me while looking, I was like, nah, I have other things going on. And because of that, so I tried going to other ministries, I tried going to other churches.
Really?
Yeah, but it was really, but I wasn't going there to seek God, but I was going there to seek a place. So here's the thing: when I was going there, my place was to enter the people there, praise and worship team.
I think like what you said is expectations. We come
Yeah.
to church with having so much expectation, expecting that this is how charity must treat me. This is how someone must talk to me. No matter how wrong I am, you don't come and tell me what
Plainly,
I
like
yes.
directly that this is
Spice
wrong.
it up for me.
Spice it up.
Sugarcoat.
Yes.
Sugarcoat it
Yes.
for me,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I like how honest you are. Thank you so much. If you are to ask me if I've been hurt, I think being called a witch by someone that you kind of, you know,
Mentor.
you help grow, someone that didn't really know how to pray, all of a sudden they know how to pray. Now the prayers they know how to pray is what they are using to call you a witch.
Now they know how to pray. They can even see witches,
In
and you
their
are among
prayers.
and you are among the witches.
And like Matthew said, like the church. Sometimes it's not even the church. Sometimes it's your mind. Just the fact that I'm no longer in the team. In your mind, you start thinking. If the devil will start whispering to you that people in church are doing this, people in church are actually thinking like this, but it's not even like that.
Me, I don't know. It's something that I vowed that I will not leave church because of it.
Speaking from a place of, if you used to serve in the church and then, somebody says something bad about you and then it makes you to stop serving, you have to approach this from a very spiritual perspective, understanding that, what's this fighting, because you're not understanding that the battle is not with the flesh, but it's in the spirit, and understanding where is this coming from and what's the purpose of this. Because had I had known back then, I would have not been going around wasting my time looking for which church to be in and all that. So number one, I think first thing first is to see this from a more spiritual, mature perspective, to see where it's coming from, and number two, seek advice and counsel from the church elders for you to know how to handle a certain matter within the church, because sometimes maybe I don't know how, but some people may be jealous because you are doing it and they want to be doing it. So you go and seek counsel, and the counsel you are receiving is that, no, you know what, step down and learn and grow. Or maybe it's a way of God telling you that it's not yet time for you. So step down and grow. Build capacity in the spirit for you to be able to stand on the pulpit. So I think the three things that I will highlight: number one, discern in the spirit, the purpose and the objective.
Spiritual discernment.
Yeah, spiritual discernment, like discern where it's coming from. Number two, seek counsel. Seek counsel from church elders.
I have a question. Okay, he mentioned all about seeking counsel from the church elders. What if the head is now like coming from the church elders? You feel held by the church elders or by the leaders. Where do I?
One thing you need to know is that when we come to church, the truth of the matter is we are all people.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Number two, they say church is a hospital.
Yes.
We are former angry people. We are former. How we use the devil can use literally anyone. And number three, we lower our expectations and expect more from God and less from people. If you raise your expectations so high, you look up to, I'm not saying let's not look up to our spiritual leaders, but like if you look up to Charity so much, the day she hurts you, that's the day you stop going to church. But if you go to church with the purpose of, I'm going to serve God, whether the pastor smiles with me, whether the elder smiles with me, whether the church elder smiles with me or not, whether they speak anyhow to me, I'm not going there for them, I'm going for God. Do you understand? I feel like we lower our expectations from men, and then we have high expectations from God. And I feel like if we come to church with an open mind to say that a church is a hospital, everyone is a mere human being, anyone can be used by the devil, it will help us a lot, so that when we are hurt, we will not blame people and say she's even the praise and worship team leader, but she's doing this. He's even the pastor, but he's doing this.
That know that church is like a hospital. It's not where you expect that everyone should be perfect because we go to church. You won't get angry. You not, release a bad word. Sometimes the person, say a word, but they don't even mean it, or sometimes they don't even know the gravity of the damage that word will bring. So don't just lower your expectation, as you say. Don't just expect that, okay, because you are a child of God, you are born again, or you stand in the pulpit, you are more anointed and fireful, so you know what word to use or how to approach people, to do this, so that you know which word you can use to hurt people, you know what to say to people. We are all in the journey. We are all in the journey. We are all working out our salvation. One day you fall, one day you rise. The same as you are struggling is also how others are doing. Whether they are pastors, remember we are all in the flesh. Yes, we are all working out our spiritual lives, but we are all in the flesh. So there are times where you miss it, and then when you realize that, okay, you missed the way, you come back. That because the person missed the way close to you, or the missing out of the way for that person hurt you or bring you hurt, it's not that that person is bad, it's not even a Christian and they call themselves Christians, but it's just a mistake that somebody made, and we all make mistakes. So we just need to look at it that, wow, the reason, or the same way I'm struggling to stand for Christ, to live for Christ, I'm fighting every day. That is what others are also doing. Yes.
Now that you're talking that, I just remembered that, at our workplaces, to be honest, they mistreat us. They insult us.
So bad.
But every day we still go.
We still go.
What about the house of God?
Because okay, I will go, I'm working for my money and whatever. You look at the reward.
Yes.
So when we go to different places where it is not church, doing our own things, no matter how you are insulted or whatever, you don't look at any insult or whatever that happens to you. Your eyes are focused to the reward.
Your monthly salary.
Yes, your monthly salary. Yeah, but in a Christian journey, it's like we don't have a focus. We are running without knowing what we are chasing. We are boxing. We are like a boxer beating the air. So we don't have a target. We are not looking at the prize. And this is the eternal prize, like the greatest prize. But in our own things, our focus is a reward. I must get a salary, whether they like it or not. Even if they want me to, I will not resign. In our Christian journey, we give up because we are not focused at the prize.
We are not looking at Jesus. In fact, we are looking at
Jesus.
men. When I give my offering, my pastor must see that my hand was going in the offering bag. And
I quickly want to reiterate the point that's just raised right now, and just it's a reflection from my side, and also to share with the audience as well that you should not mismanage your responsibility in the house of God. Like just doing things for the sake of doing, and I just reflecting on who I was back then, that I just mismanaged what God gave to me, right? But if I'm in the world, when I'm out there, I work circumspectly, I do not mess up anything, but in the house of God, you just mismanage.
You just do whatever you
feel.
As long as I have done it.
Yeah, you need to know that a huge part, as a believer, a huge part of your rising in the world comes from how you serve God. And I can attest that a huge part of my growth right now is because it started from church. From how I used to serve and how I still continue serving in the church and how I'm rising in the world. So number one, I think it's quite important for you not to mismanage the responsibilities that you have in the house of God. Number two, just for you to know that your rising in the world is directly connected with your serving in the house of God.
Wow, this is such a beautiful conversation. Should we move on to the next question? Do you want me to stop so you cough?
I'm waiting on the Lord, and
I am a man before I'm a husband, so I think so I am preparing myself to be a kingdom man.
My heart will beat.
how they just
must dress modestly.
I can't be the one to teach you who is Jesus, who is Holy Spirit, what is Hallelujah. That can't be my job.
Living your sexual life according to the standards of God. You have watched someone bam already, like visualizing everything. It's a sin.
Level of sin is
It's
thoughts.
your thoughts.
It's